Hello, hello, hello. Y'all, I totally let time get ahead away from me. And it's already noon. But that is all good. Welcome to Freedom Fridays. This is our live co-planning session where every week we come together to schedule rest and fun together. And we prioritize that over scheduling work because we, as strong Black women, we know that it is a lot easier. We've been bred to work harder and harder and harder, but in our own rebellion and our own resistance, we're actually making time to schedule rest and fun first and foremost, knowing that work is the tool, it's not the goal. It's the tool that helps us live our life, and we want to make space to actually live our life rather than just always working. So that's what we are here to do today. If you are joining, I am so excited that you're here. If you're joining live, if you are joining, um, if you're joining on the replay, welcome to you too. Hello in the future. It's okay I would love for you actually to go ahead and whether you're here live or you're going to be joining on the replay, to take a second and say hello. Say hello in the comments on the replay. Say hello in the chat right now if you're joining live so that I can say hello to you. And enjoy you being here. I'm always excited when you come and join. Hey, good morning, Marissa. I'm glad you got a chance to join today. Look, this thing is all over the place. It also shows me where I'm failing. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of failing. You learn on the way. Good morning. So excited you're here. Okay. So, as we do every single week, we are going to start with making our list of rest and fun things that we can be scheduling in our calendar to do every week. So, if you have never downloaded the worksheet, let me go ahead and give you that link. It's in the description, so you can get it from there. But it is Freedom Fridays. Yourdreamstrategist.com. I'm going to put the link up here. I love that. Marissa says, I love a good fail. Come on. It's actually not that bad. It helps us loosen up. My mom used to say, girl, you need prune juice. Talking about that's what I needed to loosen up. So there's nothing wrong with a good fail. Okay, so while we're at it, yes, take a second to go over and get the worksheet at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit and say, I can tell you one of my wins for today is that I just transferred my website and it's completely new. Well, it's on a new platform and it's been updated and I like it. And I'm also telling you that if you have any issues downloading the worksheet, please let me know. I will happily fix it. It's always that first week of when you launch a new website that, things that you've tested still need a little bit of work. So if you don't get the worksheet by email, let me know. If you have a hard time downloading it, let me know. Whatever it is, let me know. I would love to receive that feedback, okay? I love it. Yay, Yvonne is here too. Hi, Yvonne. Good day. It's so good to see you guys. Yay, I'm always happy when you're here. Okay, so let me get back onto schedule. I jumped ahead a second because of the worksheet. Now I'm jumping back. We're getting into scheduling, or we're getting into creating our list or adding to our list of rest and fun. So that is going to be on page 4 in the worksheet. And I just realized I left my worksheet in the other room on my iPad, but that's okay. It's still going to be good. So here we are. This is a very interesting Friday. This is a lot of me figuring it out as we go. But that's where the fun comes in. That's where the fun comes in. Okay. And oh wait, and you launched during Mercury retrograde. So yes, maybe that's why I'm forgetting half of the things right now and why I thought I had 20 minutes before we started today, and I sat down and it was already noon. So maybe that's why it's all happening the way it is. Thank you for calling that out. That gives me an excuse for some grace, even though I deserve grace without an excuse. But I'll take that as well. Okay, so fun and rest. I had an amazing conversation yesterday. I went to a young professionals event, and I was talking to a young woman who was asking me about coaching, about what I do in my program. And she was saying how one of the things that she misses or that she wished she had more of was just more ease. And so I helped her start digging into that. And what it came down to is that she wanted more time where she didn't have to be productive. And I was like, okay, but what is keeping you from getting more time where you don't have to be productive? And what ended up coming out from that was that she kept choosing, and anytime she said, I have a great partner. He's he's always happy to take time to keep our daughter while I go and do other things. But when I'm not with them, I feel like I have to be productive. And I said, what if we actually just had you plan one or two sessions a week, even if it's just 30 minutes, where you plan to do absolutely nothing? And her whole mind was like, does anybody else like, I think in this transition, we think that if we just stop doing this, that we'll start resting, but it really is a decision. It's a conscious decision to not be complicit in choosing to do more and more. Like we have to actually give ourselves permission and schedule out time to not do anything. So scheduling out time where we're not productive. You do not have to be productive all the time. I think that's an amazing definition for ease. The time where you do not have to be productive. So make sure you're putting that should be going as things in your restful list. That's what I meant to say. Yes, it's a good definition for ease, but it's also a good definition for rest. Time where you do not have to be productive, okay? Just one of those things that came I it was such a good conversation and I wanted to share. I love this. I deserve grace without an excuse. Come on, right? Yes. And I'll take the excuse as well, but I deserve grace without that. Yes, exactly. Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome, Marissa. So happy you're here today. Yay. Okay. So now that we just talked a little bit about how we're defining rest, because I've been wanting to make sure that feels a little bit more clear. And so I've been evolving how I define rest. And today, like I said, defining it as time where we don't have to be productive. So that's why I say, like, if reading is on your list of rest, make sure it's not a self-development book where you're challenging yourself to grow, or that you or it's not about work, or it's not about your business, or it's not about anything that you're aspiring to do. You're doing it for just the fun, the inspiration, for the, like, not even inspiration, just for the fun of it, for the love of, fantasy or whatever it is that you like to do. Do that for that. Don't have it connect to any way that you make money or any way that you grow as a human. Like, put those things aside. You've set aside so much other time for those things. Let's have a restful time where those things are not included for just a little bit of time, okay? And if that's really hard, just start with 5 minutes of that. Just 5 minutes twice a week where you have a set of time where you're not doing something to be productive, where you're not trying to grow. Okay. All right. I love this. Calendar block for rest. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And not only that, I want to make sure this is why we have the list at the beginning of this workbook. When you find a restful activity where it's not you being productive, I want you to add it to the list so that you don't forget it. This worksheet is these first couple pages are pages that I want you to come back to every week, because you should be adding to the list of rest and fun things that you want to do, things that you know you like to do, so that when you finally get to the time where you have a second to rest, that you don't go numb out and do Netflix. That's okay sometimes, but sometimes you actually want to go to, sometimes you need a walk. Sometimes you need that endorphins or to detox your body and do a little sweat and extra breathing. Sometimes you need time to just lay in the hammock and sunbathe because we all need that vitamin D that the sun gives us. Sometimes we need to go out and enjoy company because if you work from home, you've been at home so much, it's not the same as enjoying a person or feeling, getting physical touch or, being with people. I want you to have that list of different things that you like to do so that when you finally have the time for fun and rest, that you actually take advantage of that time and use it to do these things rather than numbering or worst case scenario doing work because you just don't know what else to do. Let me tell you, I've been that person. I'm not judging. I'm telling you this from experience. Don't do it that way. Okay. So that's what we're putting on the list. Okay. So now that we have those things on the list, let's look up where are some things, some events that we could do that are going to allow us to do those fun and restful things. So, you guys know I love to look for things on Eventbrite or meetup.com. But I know like Marissa is in Mexico, so she might have to find something, there might be different websites down there. Maybe you're connecting with the local group of English speakers, or maybe you're doing a class where you're hanging out with Spanish speakers and you're learning some Spanish. But look for some events or some places to go to do those things. So, like that young professional event that I went to last night, that was one of the things that I scheduled in my calendar. And I went with this idea that I'm just going to enjoy the food, I'm going to people watch. And sometimes that means that I end up talking about my work, but it was actually really just fun. Like we were just having a really good time and meeting new people. And I found a new place in Charlotte that it would be a cute little girlfriend date or a regular date place that I can go to. I also found a list of book clubs, which was very fun. The only thing is it's in Atlanta. So I need to still keep looking for a list of places that are here in Charlotte because that'll be another great way to meet people and find other hobbies that are going to take me out of this work and personal development mindset and get me into just the having fun and restful things. So that's why I'm always talking about hobbies because it actually helps us automate some of the ways that we get rest and fun in our calendar every week. So yes, yesterday, so after the young professional event, then I went dancing. And I'm going dancing tonight, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to run club with a friend, and then after that, I do have a session tomorrow, but I'm excited about it. It's going to be really good. And then after that, I'm probably going to after that I actually have a backyard cookout for some friends with kids that their kids are going back to school. So I've been scheduling these things as they go so that I don't have to get to my time of rest and be like, what the heck am I going to do with myself? And sometimes like Sunday, I've scheduled that I am going to lay in my bed. I'm gonna make popcorn, y'all. If you've never heard me talk about popcorn, I love popcorn and I'm kind of bougie with it. It has to be white kernel popcorn with grapeseed oil, and I prefer it to be pink Himalayan salt with nutritional yeast, and it is delicious. And I'm gonna watch a couple movies after sleeping in. And I scheduled that as well. So those are the kind of things that I want to make sure you're recognizing. That's what we're trying to schedule in here because you're always going to get work done. You're good at that. You're good at getting work done. That was never the problem, friend. Would nobody has ever said to a black woman, you don't work hard enough. And if they did, they were a damn lie. A lie. Okay? We know that ain't never been a problem. So instead, let's prioritize the rest and the fun. Okay? I love it. Yvonne says, "Hey, your weekend sounds your weekend sounds lit." LOL, I'm coming to Charlotte to turn up. Yes. Oh, I forgot. On Sunday, I do have. I'm so glad you said that. I have a friend who is coming into town, and Maggie just joined on Instagram. She's coming to town, so we're actually going to do a bike ride on Sunday. So I'm gonna do the movie after the bike ride, but I'm still gonna have time to sleep in because the bike ride's not till noon. So, and the bike ride's inside, thank goodness, or else I might burn being outside. But yes, it is gonna be lit. And I know that I can't speak for y'all, but because I'm an entrepreneur, I know that there's always so much work to do that if I don't schedule rest and fun, I will then think about, oh, I could just do this really quick. And next thing you know, really quick ends up being 2 hours of work. This is me being honest. This is me being transparent. These are the things that I do to keep myself from doing that. I think when I was in corporate America, I didn't have as much trouble with that. But when I started transitioning from being a corporate worker into trying to start a business where they both were happening and then really becoming a full-time entrepreneur, there has to be an intentionality where we tell ourselves to stop, or else we will just continue to go and go. So yes, but I'm excited for my weekend. It's going to be a really, really, really good time. All right. So hopefully now you have looked for a couple different things of, what are some fun events that you could do for next week that you can put in your calendar. Those are the things that I want. We're about to start scheduling those things. But before we do that, yay, Maggie says, hi, I'm in Charlotte. Yay, I'm glad you're in Charlotte. Excited for you. It's going to be fun to connect this week, too. Okay, so now before we start scheduling, it's time for us to celebrate our wins. So start getting your wins together. What are 3 things from this week that you are celebrating? Big, small, in between. Put them in the chat. I want to celebrate them with you. And while I'm giving you a second to put them in the chat, I am going to start with my list of things that I'm celebrating. Okay, so first thing I'm celebrating, I have been looking for more places to like get out and coffee shops to work in and kind of just change up my scenery a little bit. I haven't yet found like my perfect place, but I have now opened up my list of places that I can go, and it's been really good. So from the reason it's hard for me is because I don't drink coffee, and most coffee shops don't have options that are not coffee. And I'm transitioning vegan. So there's not a lot of places that have vegan pastries and things like that. So yeah, it's been really interesting to find places to go. But let me tell you, lately I've just been going over to Panera, and it's actually been really simple. The booths feel comfortable and feel like I'm in my nice little own little spot. And it's been great. So I've been enjoying that this week. And it's been really fun to see a couple other people go work there as often as I have too. So made a couple friends there on the way. So that's one thing. Let me see. What's another thing I'm celebrating for this week? I have to say, this week has been a very productive week. So I feel like I'm celebrating a lot of things for work. Transferring my website was is definitely a thing I'm celebrating. I had been working on it last uh like a week or two before, and I kind of just like put a stake in the ground and was like, we're getting it done this week. And so I'm very glad that I did. I have made it live. Like I said, I don't think everything's perfect, but that was a huge win for me to get that moved over. And I moved it over from, I don't know if you guys have heard of Get Response. Get Response has the ability, I moved there because they had this funnel functionality, but it ended up not being so great and it ended up kind of being expensive. So I moved over to MailerLite, and MailerLite does websites and landing pages and email all in one place for a really great price. And it worked really well with my design capabilities. So I like the way it looks and it feels really good. So yeah, I'm very excited to have that moved over. So yes, that's my second win for this week. And then my third win, I think going to having all of these, a lot of times, so like the last couple weekends, my main weekend events have been hanging out with my goddaughters and my god family, which I love. And I'm very excited that this weekend is going to be something a little bit different with, the different things that I'm doing. So I'm excited that I already have those things planned and I get to step and enjoy them without having to think about like when I have to look through a list of things of fun to do when I'm trying to like actually just go do fun, it feels overwhelming. It feels like a lot of work. Like when I when I have to think about what am I going to do when it's time to do it, because then I get into decision fatigue. So I'm very grateful that I had been stacking these things up and they're already ready. All I got to do is just go do them and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, those are my couple wins from this week. And I'm feeling good, guys. Oh, one more win. Okay, this is a fourth win. If you are not following my channel or if you're not on my email list, I put out the wrap-up video to the Black Girl Depression series that I've been doing. Shout out to Marissa to being one of the speakers that I collaborated with for that series. Yeah, I did my wrap up this week and that was a little nerve-wracking in that while I did the rest of the series, I said little pieces of my story here and there about the depression I've been experiencing and a little bits and pieces of my experience. But this wrap up, I kind of just laid it all out on the table. And telling your story is kind of scary. And it's a good thing. And yeah, it's a lot. So I am proud of myself for not trying to soften it or we don't want to share the bad parts. We don't want to share when things go wrong, especially when it still feels relatively fresh, even though it's like healed but fresh. So I'm proud of myself for just putting that story out there. I literally recorded it. Marissa, I got this from Marissa as well. She's like, "Girl, I just been turning on the camera and pressing record, recording it, turning it off, and posting it." And I was like, "I don't think I can do that." And then this time I actually did that and it was very nice. It was I did very minimal editing. I think it took me 10 minutes. I did it all, both the recording and editing in like an hour, 2 hours, and then posted that video and I've been very excited about it and excited about the response I got from it. So that was a really huge win for me this week as well. So 4 wins that I'm very excited about and yeah, really excited about. Really close to my heart in a lot of different ways. So yes. Okay, y'all, let me check the chat here. Did y'all have a chance to put your wins in yet? It doesn't look like it. Okay, you still got time. I would love to hear them. I would love to celebrate them with you. Because we're out here doing hard things. And not only that, um, it's really easy to just keep going and going and going and going and not recognize that we're making progress, not recognizing that things are moving forward, that we're not treading water, that we're actually swimming because we don't take a second to acknowledge our wins, acknowledge that things are actually moving. And so that's a huge part of why I like to do this every Friday because it makes us pause for just a second and say, well, what am I celebrating this week? Whether it's I got a new pair of shoes or, ooh, I tasted something good this week, or I did absolutely nothing and it was perfect. That's an amazing win. Yes. Yes, have that, please. Okay. So, whatever your wins are, please let us know. Please let me know. All right, I got a couple comments coming through. Marissa gave me that advice too, and it has been so transformative. It is, isn't it? It simplifies the process so much. And it takes so much of the pressure out of feeling like um you got to do like it has to be perfect. You know what else has helped me too? Like being on these lives has normalized and has made it easier for me to talk to the camera and really practice eye contact and feeling comfortable and confident in doing that. So this was the first time I ever just sat and I haven't been doing nearly as many pre-recorded videos. So when I took that plus Marissa's advice and I just sat down and talked about my story, it was a lot easier than I have done pre-recorded videos in the past. So I'm excited for that transformation. I'm glad that that's been so good for you too. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. Your video was great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, it was scary and I'm still glad that I did it. We can do hard things and it's even better when we do hard things for us rather than doing hard things for other people cuz we're taking away their growth, but when we're doing hard things for us, it's a blooming. It's like seeing a flower open up, and that's a beautiful gift on the other side. So yay for that. Um, Proud of you too, cause SMH, I'm not there yet. LOL. I get inspiration and insight from all the transparency. Hey, take your time. There's no rush to get to anywhere to share anything. But thank you for being proud of me. I received that. I received all those blessings. Yeah, and I'm excited to keep sharing because there's plenty of other things that are not easy, like building this tiny house, like starting this business, and some of the other things that I am looking forward to share my journey and adventure on in the future. But yeah, the depression is a different kind of conversation because it has so much of a stigma, especially in this just the Black culture that, there's so much around it, but we're learning to talk about it more. And I think that's giving all of us more permission to talk about it. And that's growing the opportunity for all of us to shift uh our whole culture and grow and strengthen it as a people, as a race. So yes, I'm so glad that thank you for being proud of me. That's what I'm saying. I'll stop rambling now. Yay, Alicia's here. Happy Friday. Welcome. So glad you can join today. We're just talking through our wins from the week. And I was sharing my last win was that I shared about Black Girl Depression. Oh, and I shouted out. Got to get the correct past tense of that. I shouted out your video. I think it might have been from 2 years ago, but your depression story video, Alicia, my goodness. Such a good story, it gave me the courage to go ahead and like, I could do this video. I can do this video. I could do it. I could do it. I think I watched the video like 3 times before I recorded my own. So I think people have already told you thank you, but let me tell you thank you again for creating that video and posting it. It was so beautiful. I made even posts after it. So thank you for sharing that. Oh yes, Marissa said, wait, what? You're building a tiny house? That's so cool. Yes. Yes, I am building a tiny house. So I have listen, my tiny house is my United States exit plan. I'm not ready to leave the States yet. I've already lived abroad for 3 years. I lived in over 30 different countries, and then I came back and I lived in Denver for about a year, and then I moved to Costa Rica for a year. And now I'm back here for some family reasons. But my family has 12 acres of land, and we already have a spot carved out to where my tiny house is going to be parked. And so my goal is to build my tiny house, and then when I'm ready to leave, I'm putting my tiny house on a barge and I'm sending it to St. Thomas or Aruba or some tropical island because I like to have warm all year round. And that's what my house is going to be. And that's my exit plan when I move abroad. So that's what I'm working towards. So yes, That's what my tiny house is. I need to talk about that more. I'm totally into the tiny house life, girl. Oh, I love this. Oh, thank you so much for even watching. Thank you for being brave and sharing with us. Thank you. Ditto, ditto, ditto. I'm like, man, one day I'm going to meet you and give you a big hug. Like, this is me giving you a hug right now, all of you guys. But man, I can't wait. I'm so excited for it all, you guys. Like, this has been coming together with this community has been amazing. So much. Okay. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm obsessed with houses and the idea of homesteading. I'm sending you so many blessings for your home. Thank you. I received that. Building this tiny house has been, gosh, oh my goodness. At least 10 years in the making, if not longer. For the longest time I had no idea where I wanted to park it. I couldn't find a builder that I want, because when you're building tiny, you just don't want any old layout. Like you want something that's going to flow, like feel like you and your lifestyle. And so I finally found a builder. And then when I moved to Charlotte, I even had worked with a funder, and I found financing for it. And then stuff in my business started changing, and I didn't have the level of income I needed to really have the tiny house and still have the financial stability I wanted. So I had to put the tiny house build, like I had to put it on hold until I can, scale my business a little more. And so that's what I'm in the process of doing. And it's exciting. And it's also making me grow my patience. Dreams are hard, you guys. I believe in dreams, and I talk about dreaming in my program, and it's a core of what we do. And dreaming is a very patient, like a very character building activity. And I'm telling you that again from experience. So, yes. That's what we're doing though. Thank you for all of those blessings. I'm excited for it. It's going to be amazing when I get there. I'm probably going to cry every day for the first month because I'm such a sap. I know that's right. Tiny living abroad. Yes. Yes. Come on a beach. Tiny living abroad on a beach. I am all about some beaches and books, y'all. That's what I need in my life every day. That's what ease looks like to me. Yes, all the hugs. Yay! I received these hugs. I feel it. I feel it. Yes, Alicia, thank you for your video. Your transparency is healing for all of us. It is. It really is. Did you seek out Jewel's help since she's in Charlotte too? Yes, I have met up with Jewel. We've met a couple times, and she's been actually starting a tiny house coalition here in Charlotte. It's not so much that I need help with getting the house. It's right now it's the like I said, scaling the business. So I meet with Jewel all the time. I love she had an event on August 17th, and I missed it because I was doing a pop-up shop for my other business. But yes, she's amazing. I've been to her tiny house. I've got to see it in person. It is beautiful. She's got a lot of amazing things coming, and I'm not going to tell all her business. So, and I do plan to have, we're going to do a YouTube collaboration at some point too. So yes, thank you for sharing that. I'm glad I already have been connecting with her. She's an amazing soul. I love that. Thank you for seeing me and hearing my heart. I am grateful for you. Yes, girl. Isn't it so beautiful when us Black women get together and see that? Oh, hey, Jasmine, joining over on Instagram. Hey, what did I miss? I'm excited. Oh, you're building a tiny house? That's awesome. I remember you sharing that with me during our sessions. Congratulations. Thank you. I am definitely still working on it. It's a work in progress, but it's definitely a dream that has been delayed but not denied. Not denied. Did I see you got engaged, Jasmine? Should I be sending you a congratulations over there? Let me know so I can make sure I'm shouting you out. That sounds like a great win to celebrate today. I love that. And then Marissa says, I'm so grateful for you right back. Yes. Yes. I love it. All the gratefulness. And Alicia agrees. Black women are getting together. Um, Wait, I missed one. Dreaming dreams are character building. Say it. It is most definitely the most character building activity one can ever do. Oh my goodness. Yes, black women are getting together and it's my absolute favorite. Man, I this has been, I would say too, on my tiny house journey, if I would have known about Stephanie Perry in this community a couple years ago when I was in Costa Rica. The reason I came back from Costa Rica because there wasn't enough black people. And I was like, I need some other people that look like me. Because I love Ticos, but they're more in proximity of whiteness. And I was like, I need somebody who's not gonna try and tell me that I grew up on Coldplay when I did not grow up on Coldplay. I grew up on Brandy and Monica and Michael Jackson and Janet. Like, I needed some people that inherently knew me, and you guys you understand that. And if I would have had some more black people in Costa Rica, I probably would still be in Costa Rica. And yet here we are. I think everything happens for a reason. So it's still good. And I'm so glad that we're getting to connect now. Because now, whenever I do leave, I know that I'm going to have a community. Community is super, super important to me. After being a missionary for 3 years, an international Christian missionary for 3 years, it is not, I don't advise a life without community. Regardless of whether it's here in the States or anywhere. And then we had the pandemic to add on top of that. I was really blessed that by that time I had a really strong community already, so I didn't feel alone. But yeah, we need those people that we know, that our immediate circle is always there for us, and then we have our next circle outside of that, and we have these circles of connection that we have levels of safety with. Such a huge thing. Jasmine said, yeah, OMG, yes, engaged. Thank you. Yay, congratulations, Jasmine. I did think I saw that. It wasn't like clear in the post, but I'm like, that's a ring right there. Congratulations. Are you still in Kenya? How's it been? I need to come visit you in Kenya as well, because I know you love to stay on a beautiful beach in Kenya. I love it. Okay, and then Marissa says, I have been helping build a tiny cob house, and it's so cool. The tiny house community has the most amazing people. I'm so excited to hear that. And I'm so excited to hear you are having such an amazing experience in that community. I have been solely connected to really Jewel for the most part. So I need to get a little bit more to the rest of the community. So I'm excited to be connecting to more as I go too. All right, you guys. I love this. All of this connection, all of this conversation. This is part of, I love doing this live because it's so community building and it's so much fun to be connecting with you. Okay, so if you haven't already shared your wins, then okay, come on now. You still got time, but I want to celebrate with you. Like, don't think that because we were talking about my wins, that doesn't mean that you don't have to share yours. I still want to celebrate yours, okay? Just so we're clear. All right. So, okay. And Jasmine says, yes, I'm in Kenya. You are most welcome anytime. Love you, girl. Yes, love you back. Love you back. Okay. So now we're moving into this next section where we actually start scheduling time in our calendar for rest and fun. Remember, we don't have a problem scheduling work. I want you to schedule rest and fun. And I want you to think about what are the things that help you have rest and fun. So, like I said, time where you're being unproductive. Maybe that's time where you're getting a blanket and you're laying out on the grass and you're sunbathing and getting your vitamin D. Whatever it is, I want you to be so radically intentional about it that you actually put it in your calendar. So you know that when that time comes, there is literally nowhere else you have to be. There's nothing else that you have to be doing but laying in this spot on the grass, enjoying the sun. This is your chance to give yourself permission. Permission to rest. It doesn't happen by accident. I want you to give yourself that permission. Okay. So that's what we're getting into right now. Now, if you haven't got the worksheet, completely free worksheet, head over to freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com and you can download the worksheet there. Okay. So that is moving to, I think it's page 9. On now that we've celebrated our wins, because we've looked at the things from this week that we checked off from this week, we're glad we got them done. We're celebrating that progress. Now we're looking at the things that we didn't get done, because 9 times out of 10, we overbooked ourselves. And grace. There's so much grace for that. Sometimes it's hard to decide, it's hard to choose or recognize how long is it going to take for me to do this thing. It's completely okay. And so we're looking at those things and we're now reprioritizing it. Is that still the most important thing for next week? And if it's not, then how does it realign into the list of things that need to get done? And then also taking a look at, is it something that is this something on your list that needs to be, that someone asked you to help them do, but it's really not that important to you, and so you need to give it back? Or is it something that was a really, you thought this was a great idea, but it's not important at all, and it's not ever going to be a top priority, and so you delete it? All of those things are appropriate answers to looking at the tasks that you've had that you didn't get done from this week that just passed, and then looking at the tasks that are coming for the week that is coming. That's the kind of assessment that we're doing going forward. Okay. All right. So let me check the chat here. Oh, yay. Also, congratulations to your friend Jasmine. We're sending congratulations to you from over on YouTube. Did that come up? It's going to come up on the screen in just a second. I love it. That is so, so cool, Marissa. All the things that is so cool with helping build that tiny house, that tiny cob house. Where are you, Marissa? What part of the country? I want to come help build some tiny cob houses. Um, let me see. Yvonne said, I cleaned my living room. I have to finish this weekend because I'm type A Taurus. Hey, that's all good. So when I have free time, I end up finding something to clean. See, I'm gonna need you to have some free time without the cleaning too, where you just get to do. Maybe your free time needs to be somewhere else so that you don't clean it, because it's not your responsibility to clean it there. Okay. But I completely understand. I completely get it. So much space for all of it. Yvonne has living the lit life. I love it. Thanks, Alicia. It's really cool. I'm so glad to know there are other tiny house enthusiasts. Okay, I'll stop being a nerd now. Never stop being a nerd. Never. I'm into it too, girl. I even wear glasses. I just don't need them on the screen, so I don't wear them while we're here. Come on. I love my glasses. I love any of my nerd tendencies where I can get on a topic and talk about it for days. Like, I nerd out to so many things. Never stop being a nerd. I'm into it. Come on. Including long comments, Marissa. I love long comments. It's terrible, Alicia Renice, the artist. LOL. My dad said, every time I talk to you, you're cleaning. Girl, we're gonna have to add some other hobbies to your list. So you're not just cleaning. I love it. I love it. All right. So now that hopefully you've taken a couple minutes to look at what are the things that you didn't get done on your schedule for last week. And I hope that you've taken a second to decide what is the main objective, the main thing that you want to get done for next week. So in that, you want to have something, the main objective for next week, you want to have something for your work or business that you want to accomplish. Just one thing. Let me be clear. One priority. Priorities is not supposed to be a pluralized word. It's only supposed to be a singular word, okay? One priority. So one thing that you want to get done for work, and then one restful thing that you're making sure you get scheduled thing. At least one, okay? Because I know this is a lot when we get started with this. So I'm not going to overwhelm you with trying to schedule 30 restful things. Just start with just scheduling one. Oh, yay. Jasmine says, thank you, Alicia. She's over on Instagram, so I'm reading it for you, okay? Yay. I love it. I love it. Yes, we love nerding out. Come on. I love it too. I love it. Okay. So, the one objective that I want to accomplish for next week. So, since this week, my main objective was to get my website launched. My thing for next week is to make sure that all my email sequences and all the automations that I have in the background for my business get moved over as well. Now, I say all of them. I actually need to write a list of what they are because otherwise I am going to overbook myself and I'm not going to get it all done. So I need to, that's some things I need to figure out as I'm getting my planning schedule. And then for next week, I also need to look at what do I want my one fun thing outside of my regular hobbies, my regular things that I do, like run club and going dancing. What is one fun thing that I want to make sure I do next week? Okay, I got a little bit of stuffy nose. Let me try to get this out of my nose real quick. Oh. It's funny. It's like my nose is fine until I get on here. So I don't know what the heck that's about. Um, okay, so that's what we're moving to next. Okay, is we're setting up that schedule. All right. All right, so I'm gonna put myself up on the screen, but I want to read the comments first. Well, tell me, last week was it last week? Yes, because last week I was in where was I at? I can't even remember where I'm at half the time. I was in another state. Oh, I was in Greensville, South Carolina last week. Gosh, I can't keep up where I'm at. Last week when I was in Greenville, I showed you guys my screen of how I was reorganizing my schedule and creating my priorities and setting up my schedule for the week. Was that actually helpful or was that like, girl, just give me time to work on this and be quiet? Like let me know is that worth it for me to do that again today or would you rather just have the quiet time to work on the schedule for yourself? Okay, so while you're telling me that in the chat, I am going to look at the comments we have here. Listen, parents be calling you out, right? Say, listen, I'm not living in your house anymore. I get to do things my way. Keep your opinion. You know what else though? I will tell you this. I don't know if you guys have parents over 60 yet. I've been getting a lot of memes about parents over 60 because my mom is 80 and I have switched into this place where I'm the mom now. So I get to give it to her the way she likes to give it to me, or she used to give it to me. So it won't be like that forever. Maybe then you could call them out in the future. Okay. Oh, Marissa's in Northern Nevada. I didn't know that. I'm learning how to build homes out of literal I know what kind of homes you're building. Oh, that's so exciting. I can't think of the name of it right now. But I know what you're talking about. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I hope you share that with us too. So fun. Yvonne, I need your enthusiasm for cleaning, girl. That's why I need a tiny house because I'm not about big cleaning no big house, especially when I'm living with family and they got their own mess and I got mine. I'm not cleaning all of our mess. That's too much responsibility. I can't. Y'all got to handle your own. I love this. Oh, OMG. Like Earth Houses. Yes, Marissa, Alicia remembered the name Earth Houses. Exactly. I couldn't remember the name, but that is so cool. Is that what you're building, Marissa? I'm so excited. Um, Yvonne said, I'm borderline OCD. Fam and friends pay me to organize their kitchens and closets and such. Girl, Yvonne, why don't you just make a business out of that? Where are you at? Because I will sure enough, I'm telling you, when I move into this tiny house, I want it to start off perfect. I'm be calling you for your help to listen. I'll be calling to pay you so I could put the music on and allow you to be in your happy place. Where are you at? I love it. Alicia, yes, exactly. I'll try to film next time, but I go to the bill. the next time I go to the build site and share. I want to see that too. I hope you put it on YouTube and tag us all so we can come watch it. Please, Marissa, please and thank you. It was helpful, Rashadat. Oh, right. I'm saying my name. If you guys didn't watch that video this week, I told everybody how to say my name in the Yoruba dialect. So that's an interesting video to watch. I'm trying to say it more often. But yes, it was helpful, Rashadat. I'd rather you walk us through. Okay, good, good. I will definitely do that today. Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't just doing something that wasn't actually helpful. Okay, thank you so much for telling me that. Yvonne, you're talking all that stuff, but they appreciate you. Every family needs someone like you. You ain't never lied, girl. You are definitely well appreciated. Listen, appreciate your gifts. Don't make yourself try to be anything different than what you are. If that's your gift, I appreciate you and I will financially appreciate you as well. Agreed, agreed. It definitely helps. I love it. Yes, please. I love to watch. Okay, good. It's good to know that sharing how I do it for myself. And you know what? Today I won't put the music on so that I don't have to speak over it. You can just hear me talking and we'll go through it that way. Your name is beautiful. Thank you for saying it. Thank you. Again, I'm learning to embrace it. I grew up with my American family calling me Rashida. So I've just always kind of done it that way. But now that my housemate is Nigerian and she relentlessly calls me by my says it the Yoruba way. And it's good. It's good. It makes me embrace it a lot more. So yes, my name is Rashida. It's so nice to meet you. Okay, so I love that. All right, with that being said, we are going to jump into planning our week. And I am going to do that directly on the screen. Now, if Jasmine on Instagram, because this is vertical on Instagram, it's just that sliver. If you really want to see the details of how I'm like doing my schedule, it's going to be horizontal on YouTube. So it's going to be easier to see there. You'll still be able to hear me talk through it, but you're not going to be able to see all the details quite as much on Instagram. I just wanted to give you that heads up. So yes. Okay. Yvonne says, I'm here to see how to seek more rest, not more work, y'all. I know that's right. She said, listen, that's why I don't need to. That's why I don't need anybody to know that I'm good at cleaning because that's not necessarily restful. That's more work. I love it. Yvonne, I love that question. You tell me. Because here's the thing sometimes with our strengths, they're not always restful strengths. Like there are things that I'm very good at, but I don't find it restful. Cooking is one of them. I can cook, but I would rather pay someone else to do it. And I can cook well, but it's not a restful activity for me. So what is if cleaning is not a restful thing for you, tell me what is a restful thing while I start getting my setup set up so that you can see what I'm doing on my schedule. Okay. So while you're telling me that, let me go ahead and set this up. Is this it? Did I do it right? Nope. I hit the wrong one again. I did the same thing last week. Okay, there we go. And secondary display. Let me get my calendar out. Okay, so like I said last week, my favorite calendar is this calendar called Ellie. It is a digital calendar. And the reason I love it, let me just move that there. The reason I love it is because some of the tasks that I have you do, like gathering all the things that you didn't finish from the week and time blocking and keeping your to-do list and having a repeatable schedule for the things that are restful. Ellie will automate some of that. So it simplifies you having to create your schedule every week. I also should say that I start with my time and energy budget, and I haven't showed you guys that in a while. Let me figure out where I have that. This is fun. I love this. I'm glad we're doing this. Let me open up. Um, so that my time and energy budget is something I usually do on my iPad, but I can show it to you from my desktop as well. So this is opening. While that's opening, let me check the chat again. Um, Ooh, that's a really good question. It is a really good question. Whatever thing, if you're really good at it and it's not something you actually enjoy, I want you to figure out what is something that you're good at and you enjoy that's restful. It's so important to dissect those things. Again, some of the questions I love to ask when we get into our sessions. I love this too. Yvonne, I love that you set that boundary. I want rest for you too. It is an amazing agreed. Marissa, such a good comment. Agreed. Please decide what's restful for you. I love it. Okay, so now I want to show you what my time and energy budget looks like. And so I've been actually thinking about if I should do this as a challenge to help you to like a 5-day challenge to help you create your time and energy budget so that you can be intentional about getting more rest and fun in your calendar. Um, because this is something that I kind of automated. Now I'm trying to figure out where I put it. This is a clear one. And so you see it's a full schedule of uh it it's all the hours in the week, and then you organize it based on your sleep times, your work times, your rest times. I want you to see mine. Gosh, I know mine is on my iPad. I'm trying to think of where it is here. Sorry, you guys. Ooh, you know where it might be? Oh, this is definitely an old one. You guys, I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for this, but it's such a good question. Let me see, because I know I have it um in my Canva. Be patient with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So much pressure. And I got so much stuff in my Canva, y'all. Ooh, this is something else that needs to be organized. Um, oh, let me put in my name because it should be under my name. Um, Okay. I might have to do this part next week so that I can find it and be prepared for you guys because I'm not able to put my hand. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Woo! Took me a second, but I found it. Okay. Let me check the comments really quick. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Take my time. So, as you can see, when I look at this is my time and energy budget. And I'm trying to, the goal of this is to be intentional with budgeting my time ahead of time. So, if I know that I default to work, I actually try to push this to put more time for fun in. So all of these yellow times, these bright green times are fun times in addition to these golden yellow times so that I'm making sure I'm making time for rest and fun in my week. And so I schedule a lot of my hobbies, a lot of my regular routines based around my time and energy budget first and foremost. And those are things like my morning routine I have where I take time to sit on the toilet, to get on the scale, to make breakfast. Those are things that are in my morning routine. My workout and my evening routine, my relaxed times are in here. My one of my favorite habits to do is my social dancing. I even have my biweekly haircut on my time and energy budget because that's one of my self-care things. My Friday wind down and relax time. So after this call, I start winding down for the weekend. I know that I still have client time on the weekends because not everybody can do the typical Monday through Friday time during the week. But that's why I make sure I schedule in this other time for rest and fun during the week so that I can have that so that I'm not just adding more work time without balancing it with more lifetime. And then relax time over the weekend and then Sunday meal prep. So some of the habits that I try to do that help my week go smoother, I start with having a real heart to heart conversation with myself with, am I setting myself up for failure from the beginning? Let me tell you, the first time I did this, I recognized that I was overbooking myself by an extra 90 hours a week. Somehow, I thought that in this part of these hours in the week that I was going to get 90 hours more work done. And I said, "Oh, No wonder I feel behind. No wonder I'm always overbooked. No wonder I'm always double scheduling myself because I'm not paying attention. And so this really helped me to reset my expectations and to reset how I actually scheduled my time for the week. Okay, so I start with this first, but then I transfer it into my calendar. So that's why there's things that are repeatable in here that you can see. So since I haven't, this is my, it's moving or it's jumping around a little bit. Stop jumping. So this is my schedule for next week. It's already started because these are my regular habits and routines that I just showed you from the other worksheet. So I always have my rise and shine morning routine. I have a workday startup routine. I have a workday shutdown routine. I have a YouTube creation routine. I have a lot of routines because I know these are things that I have to do on a regular basis. But I also have rest and fun routines too. I took the one off of Monday, but I used to have a dance class on Monday. I live so far from it. It was getting a little constraining to try and do that on Monday. So I do different things now. Now I do a walk around my neighborhood out here where I live. And then on Thursdays nights are always my dance routines. And then Wednesday nights are always my hammock routine. Saturday mornings are always my run club routine. So, but have some rest and fun that's regularly scheduled because I make time for my hobbies. I keep talking about hobbies because they are really an amazing way to help automate life. In addition to the way it almost the same way that you automate work. I know that these are fun things that I regularly like to do, so I make sure I schedule them in my calendar every single week, and it simplifies my process a whole bunch. And then now that I'm getting to this week, then I can move things around based on things that have come up and based on the number one objective that I'm doing for this week. So the one thing that Ellie doesn't do that I like that Sansama does, I still would tell you don't. You can use. I like Sansama. I would still tell you to get Ellie over Sansama because Ellie is a little cheaper, and I like that it doesn't put the time blocking on my calendar. But I can still see what my time blocking is. So if I need to schedule a meeting, it doesn't block off the time. That's a little bit more detailed if you're like a business owner. So if that's you, let me know and we could talk about that separately. But in Sansama, you can choose your objective for the week and put it in your calendar. And Elliot doesn't allow you to do that, but I just write mine down on a post-it, and that's something that I just put on my screen so that I can always see it and schedule and refer back to it and making sure I'm putting time for that during the week. Okay, let me check this question. So it's like one fun slash restful thing per day. Yeah. It really depends on what you need. Now, how let me answer that a different way. If you are a person who um is really burnt out and you haven't rested in a long time, I want you to start with one thing per day, but I want you to really consider adding in more than one thing per day until you get your cup filled back up. The way I define burnout is that your emotional, mental, restful cup is empty and you're not working from your overflow. So let's talk about that in the context of the depression. Okay, I think that'll be a good example. In March, actually April, I was like, I have no capacity for anyone and anything. So I was helping my one friend with her business. I was helping another friend with her business. I was helping take dog sit. I was taking care of my goddaughters. I was doing all of these other things that while I love doing them, I didn't have capacity to do them, and I started pulling back. And I started prioritizing more things like my meal prep and time to just sit. Whereas like weekends where I could usually do a little bit of time of working in the morning and then um taking time in the afternoon. For that time when I was recouping from my depression, I did absolutely no sessions on the weekend. No sessions on the weekend until I've started feeling better. So that's why I say it depends, because I want you to think about, where are you if you were to look at a scale and this is fully rested and this is fully burnt out. Where are you on that scale? Depending on where you are in that scale is where you're going to decide how much rest and fun should you be scheduling more often. So when I was at fully burnt out, I was cutting things like I was the Grim Reaper. Okay. If it wasn't restful, I was cutting it out, cutting it out. I was doing only the bare minimum. Okay. And then now that I've recuperated, I have I've still not gone to the place where I'm adding all of the work back in. I'm actually now looking at where I had gone overboard and I'm not putting as many things back in. So, did that example help to answer the question? Because I know everybody hates when you ask a question and someone says it depends. So I wanted to make sure I give some context to that. So because I'm on a place where I'm closer to like I'm really close to that fully rested. Yes, I can go with like one or two fun things, but also too my restful things where I said like my workday startup routine and my rise and shine morning routine. I choose those to be slow mornings. So technically, I don't really start working until 10 a.m. I make time that if I want to get up and do a couple things earlier, I can do that, but I don't have to. That's huge. Making time where you can do more, but you don't have to. And actually choosing to listen to your body in that moment and say, I'm not doing more today. I'm going to lay here a little longer and the world's not going to come crashing down. That's really huge. Okay. All right. Okay, good. Marissa said that's very helpful. Thank you. Okay, good. Good. All right. So now let me get back into and let me check. All right. All right. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, good. Um let me get back into my schedule. Okay. So this is Monday. And now I'm going to go into click on today. These are the things that I have scheduled today. Today was my brother's birthday. I sent him a message this morning. We're in the Freedom Fridays live stream. I have a lunch break scheduled after this. I have a follow-up where I do all my release tasks after this. And then this actually can get moved up. And you see how this calendar allows you to drag and drop really easily once you have your to-dos in your list. So anytime I have something, I add it here, and then that allows me to drag and drop and move it around to put it on to a day that I think I'm actually going to do it. So like I said, my if I had my notebook with me, which I usually do, like I said, today is one of those interesting days. I would be writing in my notebook my number one objective so that I can tape it to my screen of my computer, since that's what I'm looking at regularly. So now based on that, I need to decide how much time do I need to spend this week to accomplish that task? And I would be adding into dues during the week for that. But then for the rest and fun, if I know that I have some other things that I want to add into the week, I add those first. So a lot of mine are on set and repeat right now, a lot of my hobbies, because I have taken the time to figure out what are those things on my list of fun and rest, and I've already put them in here. That's why I keep pushing you to do that every week. Because once you find a club that likes to do silent book club every single week, it's easier for you to decide, oh, I can do this day, or I could do that day. Or maybe for you and your son, where it's like it's an activity for him. Like I heard about this yesterday. It doesn't quite equate, but follow me for a second. they opened up a new dog park, and they also had like a bar. So the dog gets to run around, and the dog parent gets somewhere to have a good fun time to either rest or, chill or do whatever, but the dog is fully entertained. There has to be places like that with kids where it you even if you just go to the park, but it's safe enough that you don't have to watch him every second while he's running around, but he has other kids to play with, but you get to have some time to yourself, whatever that looks like. Okay. This is where we have to be a little bit more creative and do this is why I again say check out Eventbrite, check out um meetup.com for other clubs that do things that you like to do, because it simplifies your planning during the week when you're scheduling out the rest and fun things. Like my dancing thing. They had an event yesterday, but they decided to do an event tonight. I didn't even have to plan that. All I had to do was know that it was coming, and now I could go, I'm going dancing tonight. Simplified it for me. I got some more rest and fun in my schedule for the week. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't, or if I need to add more detail to that, because you see my nerd tendencies are coming out. I could talk forever about this. I'm gonna move on. All right, so now this is the end of this week. I want to start setting up my schedule for next week. I'm going to click the arrow, and I'm going to update some things for tomorrow. So I'm going to Mad Mouse with Ratonia. I have a session with Kina tomorrow. I do need to record a video, but here's the beautiful thing. It doesn't take me nearly as long to record now that I'm doing it the new Marissa Price way. So now I only need about 45 minutes to record, and then I'll have time in between here to rest before I go to the cookout tomorrow afternoon. And those are my restful things for tomorrow. And then when I come home after that, I'm going to watch NCIS on Paramount, because I started at season 1 and I got 21 seasons to watch. And I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm not saying don't watch TV. I'm just saying don't allow that be the only thing that you do for rest, okay? All right. So now that I've updated that, I'm going to my next day. And as you can see, this is very easy. It's all drag and drop. Yes. Oh, I got that too. Okay. So this is good, because my editing on Sunday is not going to happen at 10 a.m. It's going to happen at 4 p.m. And then I have cycle time with Megan at Cycle Bar. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I actually need to make sure that should have been in my calendar. So I need to go back and figure out why that wasn't in my calendar. And I also like to categorize things so I can see the colors of what things are. So that is there as well. And then this is a personal thing, but it's not going to let me color it, so that's fine. Okay. So those are the couple things that I have on my calendar for Sunday. And I'm actually going to do this. It's very important to me to do this too. Sleep in. Actually tell yourself, even if you wake up, tell yourself, I'm not going to get out of the bed. I'm not going to do anything. I'm literally going to daydream out of my window until it's time to leave. Now, I'm not going to do it till noon. I'm only going to do it until 11, because I need travel time to drive over to get to the cycling place. So I'm going to add travel time in here. But you see how I'm actually scheduling. Nope, that's the wrong thing. See how I'm scheduling these things in, okay? And I found that this actually allows me to have permission. Like, it gives me permission to lay here until 11 o'clock. Otherwise, if I don't give myself permission, 8:15 will come and I'll be like, let me get up and do something with my life. I think that's what Yvonne, I think that's what your brain is telling you. Let me get up and clean something. Give yourself permission to say, no, I'm not cleaning anything until after 11. Okay? That's what we're doing. All right. Yes, stacking family activities with me activities is great. Yay! Exactly, exactly. And you can find, there's usually really great things that you can find online that other people you're not the only one who needs to do that. So I know that there's ways other places and hobbies that you can do that to help you do that. Okay, so now I'm getting into my week, and you can see on Monday, I've got my Rise and Shine morning routine. Now, my Rise and Shine starts at 6. Read my Bible, write in my daily manifestation journal, go poop, get on the scale and get dressed. I have these two things where it's green. These are my grace schedule. These are anything that's green on my calendar has flexibility to it. So while I have those as my to-do things, if I wake up and I really just need to lay there, I will. But at 9 times, this is generally what I do. The other thing that I want you to pay attention as you create your schedule, you're going to see that there are some things that you think you should do, but you never do. That means it's not a priority. Stop putting it on your schedule. Take it off your schedule. Take it off. Delete it. There are no shoulds around here. Let go of all of those shoulds. There's nothing that you have to do. I want you to do what's going to feel good to do. And everything else, let's start looking at how we can shift away from it. Okay. So then my workday routine, I try to watch content from my favorite creators, and more than that, I just add. There's more people on this list. This list is an older list, but I've got so many things on my watch now list that anytime that I get in the car, I'm watching something from YouTube. So I look at my schedule for today. I read and reply to any emails. I check on some stuff from my contract work that I do. And then I do a walk and work. So I have a treadmill desk. I get on a word for the people. I am the people. I love that. So my walk and work, it helps me do a little bit of dual activity because since I work from home and since I work in a computer, if I don't do both, I can go a whole day and get maybe 900 steps when I really want to get 10,000 steps. So one of the first things I do in the morning is this is a automated desk that can move up and down. I pull my chair. If you go on my stories on my Instagram today, you can see that I got on my treadmill this morning and I walked and worked for an hour and 15 minutes. I usually do it a little longer, but I was trying to prepare for this. And so that's when I'm watching my videos, I'm engaging in someone's channel, I'm doing a story, I'm having breakfast. I don't walk while I'm not eating breakfast while I walk, but it's during this time period. These are things that I have automated in Ellie. It does this every day. You see how this repeats? I don't have to reschedule this because it's here. So every day, Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. for 2 hours and 30 minutes, this is what I do during that time, unless I change it, unless I intentionally change it. And that makes it so much easier for me to not be in decision fatigue of what the heck am I supposed to do right now? That's the other reason why I like to plan my schedule for this 1 hour right now. Because then when it gets time for next week, all I have to do is show up and do the thing. I don't get stuck in decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is hard because you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do right now? And you spend so many brain cells trying to figure out what the most important thing is that you end up doing nothing. And that's the same thing with rest and fun. You're so busy trying to figure out what is actually going to be rest and fun for me to do right now that you end up doing nothing. That's why we schedule it ahead of time so that all you got to do is show up and do it and look forward to it. Man, when I finish this piece of work right now, I'm going to lay in my hammock with my frozen grapes and it's going to be good. Whatever it is, you get to look forward to it because you've already put it in your calendar, okay? All right. So then I got these routines set up. They're set up for every day, Monday through Friday. I have them here on my calendar. And then I fill in other things that I need to do in the midst of that. Now, I also have this on my calendar. This is actually a free spot. I'm just saying this is where I'm going to go do co working next week. So it's not an actual calendar invite. It's just me knowing that I'm not going to be working at home. I'm going to go somewhere else to work that day. So now the things that I have on my to-do list, anything that doesn't have a time, you see how these right here have a time stamp on them? That means I've already scheduled those in my week. These other things that don't have a time, I need to schedule them in. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule them now. And here's what's fun. With Ellie, I could just drag and drop it. So I'm going to drag and drop that. This, I need to move it to here. And since I'm going to be meeting someone at 10 o'clock, I'm going to move this to 11. And while I would usually do this for 3 hours, I'm not going to be able to give it a full 3 hours. So now, instead of bullying myself to feel like I have to add another hour, I can just give myself permission to say, I'm not going to put that much time into it this week. I do this routine every single week. I can do the next, it's going to be the same work next week. I could do push some of it off to next week. It's okay. Nothing's going to fall apart. Then I have my lunch break, my metrics that I need to track, posting this thing. Now, I've put this off a couple different times, but since I just released my website, I think I'm actually ready to put this out. So I'm going to leave that there. And so all of these things that now have timestamps are scheduled. And then create new copy for the welcome series. Now, here's the fun thing. I've almost finished this already. So this is not going to take me that long. It's probably going to take me there. And then I still need to do a little bit of contract work for the business that I work with. So I'm going to add that here. Leticia, or here, I don't even need to, I could do the short version. And I'm going to do that for 3 hours on Monday. So I'm going to drag and drop it and extend it to that. So now I have my workday scheduled. My workday is from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And now it's clear what I'm going to do. Now, lately, I've been doing YouTube lives in the evening. That's the other reason why I haven't been going dancing on Monday. But I have like a dinner time where I can rest and chill out for a little bit, come sit outside. This is usually where I do my walk. So I'm actually going to add it in here. And here's the thing, if we know there are things that we like to do, why not put it in here so that you're remembering to do it? Okay? Take a walk around. Ooh, Lord, I can't spell. And this is my personal time for the day. Drag and drop it. I need like 30 minutes of time. Oop, cancel that. I need like 30 minutes of time to prep for this YouTube live. And then I've got a little bit more time after that to decompress, watch an episode or two, and then wind down for the evening. So for my evening wind down, I do, what do I do? I have my medicine that I need to take. Actually, do I have it here so you can see? Yes, I have my, can you see it? It's really low. Mushroom brew, which is like one of my favorite supplements, but you can make it warm. And so it's like mushroom coffee, but it's not coffee, or else I wouldn't be able to sleep. I don't know what else to call it, but it actually tastes more like a hot chocolate. It's so cozy and it's so good to have in the evening. And then I take my supplements, and then I usually watch a couple episodes of Bluey because I like Bluey, and they're only 8 and 9 minutes. Don't judge me for liking children's cartoons, okay? And that's my evening routine. Again, this is what I had on my time and energy budget. So now I'm just filling in the blanks of where I need to add in rest and fun in addition to my work throughout the week. Okay. Tuesday. Now I move over to Tuesday. What brand of mushroom tea? I'm looking for some. Oh, I like Ohm. Ohm is my favorite one. I've had some other ones that use like coconut sugar and it's gross. I don't like coconut. That's why I call it gross. I would rather use agave or just pure cane sugar and don't use as much. But uh, I'll try to remember to I'll post the picture of that in the community and tag you with the picture of the brand or the link to the one that I like. I'll do that. I'll give you the link. Okay, so now I move to Tuesday. So this is what my Tuesday looks like. Take these progress photos. That takes about a couple seconds. And honestly, I've been off track with my workout stuff. So I leave that recurrence on there, but I need to get back on track with that. Me being honest, okay? And then I like to work on pitches and collabs. I've been really slow with it as it's a new thing for me. So I give myself a full 2 hours to do it. but I'm getting better at it. So if you haven't got a pitch from me, don't worry, it's probably coming. Oops, I also just realized I probably have Marissa's. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I got Marissa's comment right in the middle of the screen. Forgive me. Let me make this bigger so I don't do that again. Okay. All right. So, after each meeting, so these are my regular routines for this day. It's red because this is a routine for my business. Whereas these other routines on Monday, this is a routine for my YouTube content creation, which is still for my business, just a specific part of my business. And this is this teal because it's a routine, it's a task for the contract work that I do. So I like to color code things so I can easily kind of get an idea, gauge how much work I'm putting in for each thing during the week. All right. So I like to have a decompression time after a call. This is a coaching call on Tuesdays. So I always have about 15 minutes to just chill out. Then I'm going to have my lunch and then I'm going to work on some more contract work. And Tuesday afternoons are generally contract work time. So I don't have that on my routines here. So I'm going to add it in. Now, can you see how I'm just using Ellie to have this conversation with myself with, okay, what needs to be scheduled in and how do I want to put it in? The restful thing for Tuesday, which I haven't done yet, but let me just do this really quick. I have two different things that I like to do on Tuesday. So I go back and forth. One is to go Kizomba dancing, and the other one is to go to Mad Mouse, to go to the Run Club. I believe Kizomba dancing was this week. So next week, the Run Club is the only one that's available. So I'm going to do the Run Club on Tuesday evening. Again, I know these are things that are regularly happening. So it's a little easier for me to know what things I want to do throughout the week. Use your list of fun and restful things to do throughout the week. So Run Club, they also do line dancing after Run Club. I'm not a huge fan of line dancing, which is funny because I love the dance, but I don't actually like line dancing. So I rarely stay for the line dancing part, but I do like to get out and I probably make at least one new friend every time I go to Mad Mouse. So that's a lot of fun. And this will also include travel time. Personal, create task. Again, Ellie is super easy to help you do these things. So now that you see me going through this, is this helping make a little bit more sense of how I schedule it? Because here's the other thing. If there was an activity that I wanted to do in the middle of the day, like I wanted to go meet someone for lunch, I can move these things around because I have that flexibility in my schedule. A lot of times, even when we have a corporate job, we have that flexibility in our schedule, but we haven't put in the pre-thought to be able to move things around a little bit to make it work. So even when I worked my full-time job, I still would take some time to go do whatever appointments that I needed to do. And maybe that meant that I stayed a little bit later at work that day, or maybe I just scheduled it to be a light day, but it's putting that forethought and intentionality into it so that we can make time for it. Maybe I wanted to do a lunchtime yoga class. Right now, where I'm at, there's none of that in my vicinity, and I would have to drive all the way down to town. I could do that. That's just not something that I'm particularly wanting to do right now. But I want you to think about what are those things for you. Um, I haven't been to a yoga class in a while. I need to make sure I add that back to my rest and fun. Okay, so now my Tuesday is set up. Now let's go to Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday is actually the day I release my YouTube video. So my workday startup routine, it kind of gets a little bit moved around because this is when I'm making sure all of my tasks for my new YouTube video get done. So it's things like click the like button, write a comment and pin it, share to Facebook, share to LinkedIn, share to Pinterest, share to Threads, share on my link in bio, write my newsletter, share on my favorite communities, do an announcement on Instagram. Like, it's the promotion stuff that I do every single week. Okay. Then I have a coaching call at noon for this week. This is a bi-weekly call, so it's not every week, but you see how this stuff is stacked here. I need to reorganize this or else I'm double booked. So I'm actually going to move that up. That was there. And then my Friday time, my Friday prep time, now that I've refined this, it actually only takes me about 15 minutes to do, so I can shorten it. And then I can move on to this. And then I try to make Wednesdays an open day for my afternoon. This is just my personal preference. So that anything that I didn't finish on Monday, Tuesday, I have a little bit of grace time to finish it there. Because when I go to Jazz Canteen night, this is when I go get in my hammock. And I want 2 hours of hanging out in my hammock without thinking about work. A lot of times I'll pick a book or I might not even do anything. But this is one of my favorite times of the week. Something that I have already scheduled. Okay. So I'm also trying to make sure I give myself planned grace time to have time for that. Now, let me double check here. Make sure I didn't have anything that I didn't schedule. Um, okay, this one thing. Write the demo script for the POT. I actually did that today. So I am going to move this. Look at me being ahead of schedule. I did this morning in my prep time. So I'm gonna put that here. And then today I am actually I finished that. I'm just gonna go ahead and check it off. Okay. Yay for checking stuff off. Oh, that's the other thing I will say. One of the things I love about Ellie is I can go back and I can see all the things that I accomplished for the week. Look at all that stuff I checked off. Come on. It is so refreshing to see how many things I get done. And when I'm looking to celebrate my wins, I can look back at this and say, oh, that was a win. And that was a win. Oh, that was a win. It makes it easier for me to know what my wins were for the week. Okay. So I don't want to take up all your time because we're a little bit over time today. Does this help? Does this feel like it answered your question? Do you want to see me schedule the rest of the week? Or, I mean, I have Thursday and Friday. It's not that much time. I'm going to rush through this part out so that we can get to winding down. So I don't want you to have, I don't want your weekend to be stuck with me. I want you to get out in that sun. Okay. Okay. Yvonne said, definitely helpful. I'm a paper planner girl who just writes down my work related to do and accomplish things, but I'm going to start adding my color coded fun and rest stuff. Have something to look forward to. Yes, exactly. It's so much fun to have those things to look forward to. So I'm glad. Yes, that's a perfect way to do it. And I would do it. I actually really love using a paper planner. I just hate rewriting the same thing over the time. I guess that makes me lazy. Sometimes I get into my efficient mode and I don't want to do that. So that's why I use Ellie, mainly because I just got to the point where some of these things it was more efficient for me to repeat it. But you can also do it where you can still have your paper version and you use your digital calendar just like a Google Calendar to repeat those things, and you can drag and drop them around. It's really, there's so many different ways to do this. That's why I like talking through it, because if you're trying to figure out how to combine it, let's talk about it. I have tried so many different ways, and they have worked in the different seasons that I'm at. The season that I'm in right now, this works best for me, but there might be something that works, that's something else that I tried that might work for you in the season you're in. So we can talk about that as well. Yes, I love a paper planner. Tell me, you guys, what is your favorite paper planner? I have two. My favorite, I would say my utmost favorite is Passion Planner by Trinidad. Oh, what's her first name? It starts with an A. Alicia Trinidad? I can't think of her first name right now. But Passion Planner is my all-time favorite planner. And I like the daily planner version with the weekly insert. So I can do like my brainstorming for the week um on the weekly version, and then I transfer it into the days as I'm moving into each day. My other favorite planner is the Full Focus Planner. It has a really good tool called the Ideal Week, which is similar to what I do with the time and energy budget. The main thing that I do differently with the time and energy budget is that I'm really showing you how to create habits and routines with it, and making sure I'm challenging you to create habits and routines that include rest and fun. So that's the other reason why I like the Full Focus Planner. Especially because I think I like the Passion Planner too because it's more fun. They do stickers, they use highlighters. I feel like the Planner is just fun, and it has some really good tools in there for doing monthly reflection and different things like that. Both of them do, but I wish that I've always said that I want to create a version of both of them that allows me to do it, and I want to create like how I have my morning routine. I want to create stickers that I can just print, and it's easier for me to redo those things so I can still have the fun of doing a paper planner with having my routines without having to write the same thing every single day. I'm too efficient for my own good, but take that as some ideas. Maybe that's something to do. Okay. I love this. I love a paper planner too. It's so fun. I just think they're beautiful and they're so fun to get into. It keeps switching back. That's okay. Y'all can see my goal. And then let me see. Write some recommendations to feed my stationery addiction. I totally feel that. I love it. I love it so much. I'm a writer, and so it's meditation for me. And I love my color pen, stickers, and such. Like Alicia Renese, the artist, in that way. I get it. That's why I still carry around a notebook, and I still carry my I have a very specific pen that I like a very specific fine point pen. I get it. I get it. I'm not telling you to give it up. That's why I say it's probably good to find some combination of the two. So I literally do a lot of my note taking and my brainstorming in my journal now, and then I add it into my digital planner. But like I said, I've been working on trying to create a sticker version of some of my routines that allows me to still use my physical planner paper that I get to feel, that gives me some of the things that I love about my digital planner. So I'm not convincing you not to do that. Okay. Don't worry. Megan says, I'm back. Had to check in and unpack. I like using the paper planner better too. I have events for this weekend in my calendar. This is the most fun I've had planned in a while. Yay for having a lot of fun planned. That makes me so happy. I love it so much. I'm so happy to hear that, Megan. Okay, I'm still trying to get the hang of the time blocking though. And that's okay. It takes some time. It doesn't like this is a new habit. Please have so much grace for yourself with habits. It takes a second. I love the book Atomic Habits. What I don't think he talks about enough is the transition time and getting used to a new habit. There was a great video by this guy, James. His video is called Create Systems Not Goals, but he has a really great video where he talks about how he gives it the 1-10-90 routine, and it's like helping you assess if a habit is good for you and deciding how to tweak it so that it can work without overwhelming you. I also do a video about that as well. I don't know the name of that. I will have to find those things and put those in the comments. I'll have to look through the chat to remind myself to do that. But yes, give yourself grace. It takes some time to create a routine that is actually simplified rather than giving yourself more work. It's very easy to create a routine that gives you more work because it's based on all the things you think you should do, but we're trying to get those things out of our head and actually get down to the things that um not that we should do, but are actually helpful to do, and leaving everything else out. Okay. um I currently use the simplified planner. Okay, I gotta listen. Let me take a screenshot of that. It's colorful, simple, and expanded ones have the time slots and 30-minute intervals. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, I'll have to check that one out. I love it. Yes. Okay, wait. I want to make sure because did I post that up there? Yes, y'all. If y'all need to take a screenshot of Alicia Renice's suggestion, the simplified planner from Target, I'm gonna check that out. And then yes, a meditation. I love that. So good. I want to know, I want to where was that? I'm a writer, so it's meditation for me. Yes, I love it. Agreed. Agreed. I'm like, I want to make sure I didn't miss the meditation part. With 30-minute intervals. Congratulations, Meg. Look at that. Shout out to Meg. I love it. Yay, have so much fun. Okay, good, good. Okay, so now that we've talked about this, I have just 2 more days to do, but I want to make sure we're moving into our wind down for the weekend. So I'm going to finish these last 2 days after I'm going to do that off camera so that we could move into the wind down part unless we have any more questions. This was such a good conversation, you guys. Thank you so much for asking the questions. It helps so much to make sure I'm giving you things that are actually helpful, rather than just telling you things you don't actually care to know. So, yay, that was really good. And if I'm happy to do that every single week until it feels good. If that's what's going to be most helpful, then I want to do that. I used to do that when I first started doing this. I stopped doing it because I wasn't sure that it was helpful and I didn't have enough feedback at the beginning. But now knowing that that was helpful for you guys, and I like that it keeps me honest and make sure you're like, listen, do you have enough rest and fun in there? Go ahead, call me out. I ain't mad about it. Call me out. I will say there are some weeks where I have more rest and fun in my week. Like this week is a pretty good week. Like I got a lot of rest and fun in this week. Whereas there's some weeks where it's a little bit on the lighter side and it's not as much. It's really just my regular habits and routines. But that's why I keep those in there. So no matter what, I still have some scheduled, even if it's not as much as I have scheduled for this weekend. So, yes. I love this. Yay! I'm so happy to see that, to hear that. This is super helpful. Thank you. These sessions are helping me actually make a plan for my play and rest. Bless you. Happy to hear that. That's exactly what the goal was. I think of it as like with a workout session, you're more likely to do the workout if you are like doing it at a gym where it's scheduled and you got a teacher that's going to like walk you through it and you could just show up and do it. That's kind of what I wanted this to feel like. So I'm glad that these have been helpful. I love it. Okay, I love it. And maybe next week we can have a quiet time to work on the planning, but needed this refresher. Yes. Okay. So I received that. You're saying some weeks show me what you're doing, but also some weeks give me time where I could just have the quiet time and do it. I can totally do that. I love that. I will definitely make space for both. And here's the thing, if it's helpful to you guys that I stay on longer so that we can have time for both, I am totally up for that. I just don't want to be keeping you longer than I told you I was going to keep you. So there's space to have both of those things happen. I love that. Okay, and Alicia is seconding that. Okay, good. So I'm going to make sure I update the flow of how we do this call so that we have that refresher time at the beginning and then the actual planning time afterwards. And maybe I'll actually start looking for on camera some of my things from Eventbrite and things like yoga time. Okay. I'm going to think about how I'm going to do that. I used to do a lot of that on camera and I think I'm going to get back to it. So thank you so much for that feedback, you guys. I'm very excited to have that. I appreciate it so much. Okay. So now we're moving into the wind down part of the session. Yeah. So when we do our wind down, One of the things, and I'll show you this just so you can see quickly. Man, and after I get my physical planner, because I'm gonna look for stickers and things. Now y'all got my whole mind going. Because if the digital planner is really what works for me, but you guys really love the physical planner, and I love a good physical planner too. I might have to show up how to do how I do it. Ooh, with my highlighters. Oh, now you got me excited. I'm gonna have to start doing it on a physical planner side too, because I think that would be a lot of fun. And we could all get our markers out together. And you'll have to make sure you take a picture at the end and post it in the community and tag me so I can get excited about it with you. Oh, I'm getting so excited. I love that. Okay, yes, this is gonna be good. So at the end of this, after we're planning, the one of the last things I like to do is to make sure I take a good look at my week. And so uh and Ellie, I can look at that all at one time and I can see how my week has panned out and make sure I'm not overbooking. Now, remember, I stopped at Wednesday. So there's a couple more things that I need to move around, like this here, and video recording doesn't take me as long anymore. So I really need to update this routine. It's not that long anymore. At the most, if I'm doing 2 videos, it's probably an hour and a half. And so you see how some of these things get moved around. On the last day of the month, I do a monthly reflection for my life and for my business. It's 2 different reflections that I do. So I do that on the last day of the month. I used to do that on camera as well, but I never really got a good routine of how to do it. So I stopped doing it. But see how I'm just double checking to make sure everything is aligned the way it needs to be. And see, like here, we have a pop-up shop on Sunday, so I can't do this video editing next Sunday. So you see, next week is not going to have as much things to do on Saturday for fun because I have quite a few business things I need to do. So I say that to say, give yourself grace in how each week looks, but also take a double check and look at, make sure you're still getting some fun and restful things in. I do think that this week is the week that I could go the day party for stepping. I have to double check. So I might be able to do that Sunday after Saturday afternoon. So you're doing that last final check, and then now we're getting into our our wind down. So the first thing we do with wind down, actually, let me put this back up. Let's put it out there. The first thing we do with rest and fun is with wind down is that we look for what are just a couple windows, a couple tabs that we can close for the week. Let's see how many windows I have open on my thing this week. Okay, so this week I only have 3 different I only have 3 desktops open on my secondary computer. Let's look at my primary. I have desktop number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11. I have 11 desktops open on my um primary display and 3 on my secondary display because I have my laptop and then I have a monitor. So now I want to go through and look, how many of these windows can I close? What things am I not going to be working on until next week? Can I just close them and come back to them? Because this is going to free up space, not just for my computer, but for my mind. So let me look. Oh, I can close this. I'm done with that. I'm done with this. So I just closed 2 windows. I think I'm done with. Okay, so this stuff, I'm waiting for something. I'm not going to actually be using it until next week, but I don't want to have to find these things next week. But I know I'm doing it next week. That's one of those things I'm going to be doing in that teal section. So I'm going to leave this because I know once I finish it next week, I'm done and I don't have to do that anymore. My ChatGPT is like my boyfriend. I hang out with him for doing all my marketing content. So he's my lover. But you know what? I don't need the window to be open. I'm gonna close him. This is gonna get closed. I don't need that for the weekend either. I can close this even, and I already followed up with that. Good. I can close that window. See how we're closing windows today. I was looking up this stuff for some reference, but I finished this before we got on the call. That's the other thing. Sometimes I finish things, but I just didn't get a chance to close the window. So I'm closing some of these tabs and some of these windows so that I'm freeing up space in my mind. Come on. I'm freeing up space on my computer and in my mind. So what windows and things can you close from this week? I can finish this. I already set up my course for that. I am still working on this, but I can close these two tabs. This is going to be with that other thing that I'm working with. Listen, I think I just closed about 20 tabs. So how many tabs are you guys closing for the week? That's what we're doing right now. That's step number 1 in our wind down. Take a second and look at your computer. And look at your phone too. A phone is another one to look at because we just keep opening. I said this a couple weeks ago, but I had so many windows open on my phone and I closed like 114 tabs. Okay. Close those things. Okay. Give yourself some space. Let me look at this. Yvonne said, ma'am, why? I just need to know. Can you just look in your history if you need it? You right. If you ain't telling the truth and shaming the devil right now, come on. You right, Yvonne. You right. Is that your OCD is coming out? It's good. It's good. Call me out. I ain't mad about it. That's why I said let me just go ahead and share. But I just closed like 15 tabs. The thing is, I don't like to go back and look for it later. But that's also because if I haven't actually finished it, so that's the other reason that I'm trying to be better with my time, with how I schedule things on my calendar, to make sure I schedule enough time to actually finish it, because then I can close the window. I noticed that this week. I have a hard time closing the window when I don't feel like I've finished something. I'm practicing finishing stuff. This is how I'm growing, finishing things. Okay? Yes. That's why next week my number one objective is to finish the moving the autoresponders from my old ESP to this one. I love this. Already gave you my OCD credits. You know what? I get it. It's okay. You like that's all I got. Megan said, I had 16 tabs open. I've closed 3 so far. This stuff can wait until I get home. I just bookmarked the tabs I want to go back to. Exactly. We could bookmark them. We don't have to go back to them. And a lot of them, we know how to get back to them. So I can go back and close some tabs too. You know what? I'm going to go back and close some more tabs after this. I am. I'm closing some more today. Some of them I'm going to finish up today and it's going to close them. Okay? So that's wind down step number 1. Now, wind down step number 2. We're moving into the weekend. We're moving into our most restful time of the week. And what is something that we can do that actually tells our body we're moving into that time? We can find something different to do, something fun to do, and we can eat something different. We can kind of do something a little different during the week. So during the week, I am eating all my meal prepped food because like I said, while I can cook, it is not my ministry to be spending an hour cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day long. It's not my thing. Okay. So I do meal prepping on Sunday so that I have my meals prepped during the week, and all I have to do is warm it up and eat it. But on Fridays, I like to do something where I could get something a little more fresh that's made to order, or that's when I actually spend the extra hour or hour and a half making something that I don't usually make during the week. So what do you want to do today for this week? So tonight, that step-in event that I'm going to is at one of my favorite restaurants. It's called Love in Action. It's a vegan restaurant here in Charlotte. The event is from 7 to 10. I'm gonna go there a little early, and I'm going to actually, am I gonna go early? No, I think I'm gonna go at 7, but I'm gonna eat when I get there. I'm gonna go down to town a little bit early so I can stop in and see my family for a little bit. before I go to the event. So that was actually my fun and restful thing all wrapped up into one. So I'm going to eat my dinner there because that's going to be delicious. Let me tell you, they make a vegan lasagna. It's so good. It's so good. It makes me want to cry. Um, oh, and then what I should do is before I do that, I should go over to Oh My Soul and get vegan cheesecake because again, that's not something I like to make to cook, but I love to eat it. So I might do that for dessert. So those are my fun things that I'm going to eat. And then, like I said, my fun thing that I'm going to do, that's a little bit different for a Friday. Usually Fridays are hanging out with my family and watching movies and hanging out with the girls, and they're telling me all about their gymnastics and karate from the week. But today is going to be dancing tonight. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So what are the wind down things that you're going to do for the weekend to help your body start recognizing that we are closing out work and we're moving into fun, like fully fun? Let me know. Those are my things. And then make sure you're scheduling them in your calendar. And I have all of that in the worksheet as well. Now, again, since I left the worksheet in the other room, I don't have that to tell you what page it is, but I want to say it's like page 15 in the worksheet, something like that. So, okay. So that's what we're doing in the winding down part. Are you ready to wind down? Are you winding down already? Are you already wound down, and this is just for fun? All of those things. So much space for it. I love doing this with you every single week. And I'm really glad to know that you guys are giving me some amazing feedback on how to make this better for you and how to make this a really helpful co-planning session. Because yes, I found that for one, when I take this time and I set up my schedule, it makes my next week so much easier. Like this week, because I did my planning for next from last week, this week was so productive and I have so much fun and restful things scheduled. I am so excited going into this weekend and I have so many good things to look forward to. And so this 1 hour really gives me back so much time, so much rest, so much space for me to just show up and be me without feeling overwhelmed, overworked, stretched thin. Like I get to just show up and have fun. And so that's why we do this. So I really appreciate your feedback. That with being said, the other thing that really takes this to the next step, and I want your feedback about this too. I was thinking about, I kind of mentioned this earlier about doing a challenge where um maybe we could do it in a 3-day challenge. I'm not sure how long it would take, but that challenge where we would set up our time and energy budget together and we would just walk through all the steps. So day one would probably be like um I would have to think. I have, because I already have this set up as a course. So there's 4 modules, but not everybody loves a course. Most people do better when they have someone that they can do it with them and they can have the conversations and ask the questions. So that's why I think instead of doing it as a course, I think I want to do it as a challenge so that you can have it. And then when you do these calls on Friday, it's just helping, it's just making this even easier. Now you just like you're ripping and rolling, like you won't even need the extra time to figure it out because we've done the challenge and we've already got that all worked out. So I've been thinking about doing that. Let me know if that would be helpful. um but so I was going to tell you about um okay, let me get my mind back. I just told you a little bit about the challenge. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I do have a course available that would help you do that, and you can get a one-on-one session to do that with me. That's called the Anti-Superhero Toolkit. And you can just get the toolkit and you can do it on your own, or you could do the toolkit and a session with me, and you'll do a little bit of homework and then we'll do the rest of it together and we'll finish it up. So we could do it that way. Or like I said, we might just do the challenge. And I think that might work as well. So if you're interested in that, I don't believe that is in the description either. That's ooh, which reminds me, I didn't move that over. I will get some information for you when we're ready to do that. Let me know. You can just tell me if you're interested in that. Other than that, I also have a free exit plan call, 20 minutes, where we get on the phone and we talk about where you are, and more than just what we're planning on a weekly basis. I want to talk to you about, where do you want your life to be 10 years from now? Now, a lot of times when I ask people that question, it's like a deer in headlights. They're like, how am I supposed to answer that? I don't even know what I want to eat for dinner. How am I going to answer what I want 10 years from now? But I have some really great things that I'm going to ask you in that call that's going to make it so much easier, because when you can take your big dreams, the things that you know you want to see in your life 10 years from now, and you can break them down to what you do today that's going to snowball and build into that, it makes building your dreams, building the life that you want, designing the life that you want, taking this life where you're no longer a strong Black woman, and actually creating this life where you're soft and feminine and rested, and all of the things, the travel that you want to do, the financial stability, all of those things that you want, you're able to take, you can see the steps that are building to that. That's what I help people do in my program, but we're going to start that process or have a conversation about that in the exit plan call. So if that sounds exciting to you, I had someone tell me the other day, I don't have enough money to buy your program, so I didn't want to waste your time getting on the call. That's not wasting my time to get on the call. I wouldn't offer the call if that was the case. I love dreaming with you guys and getting on the call. So even if you don't get into my program, I still want to support you. So sign up for the dang call. Don't use that as an excuse, okay? But either way, and then if you decide you do want to work together, then we could talk about that. But let's just start with talking about, like, what big dreams are you breaking down and how can we jumpstart you into that? Because we're exiting this strong Black woman that era and moving into this freedom life era, like this Black woman audacity, this soft and rested and feminine, this feminine era. Okay, so let's talk about that, okay? If you are interested in doing that, I want you to go to apply.yourdreamstrategist.com. Let me be helpful and put that in on the screen. Apply.yourdreamstrategist.com. Okay. So super easy. We will talk through that. We'll talk through what it looks like to do that. It's always a fun conversation. I say it's 20 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, half the time it goes over. But I would love to talk to you. So if you're interested in that, like I said, completely free. You're not committing to anything. Don't worry. I'm not gonna like dupe you on the call. That's not my life. That's too much energy. We're gonna have a good time just like we do here, okay? All right, so let me check in the comments here. Okay, scheduling time to begin. Oh, I love it. Scheduling time to begin my yoga and walking sessions on my wind down list. Yay! I love that. Oh, yoga is a good wind down. I should start putting that on Fridays. A Friday afternoon activity that I could do every week, like after I finish up this, to go do that. I love that. After lunch too, because I gotta eat first. And then Marissa says, popping back in, thank you so much. These sessions help so much. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for letting me know, you guys. I've been doing these every week since I think the second week of January, and that has been an amazing feat for me and consistency. But like also getting your feedback and doing things that are truly helpful to you are so important to me. So like if you're ever like, oh, I like the idea of what you just said, but is there a different format that would help me better? Please tell me. I love hearing your feedback. I receive it. I'm open to it. Like there's so much space for that, okay? So thank you for letting me know what's working and what's not. I appreciate it so much. Okay. Thank you so much for these. Yay! I'm happy to hear that. Make some wind down list. Come on. Make that wind down list so that we can get into it. Wind it down for the weekend. Okay. I love it. All right, you guys. I am so grateful for you. I am so excited about all the things that we talked about today. I'm so glad that everything was helpful. I would love for you still. Don't forget to schedule your exit plan call with me at apply.yourdreamstrategist.com. And then you know what? if there's anything else, like you can always just send me a DM on Instagram. Like if you just want to chat, if you downloaded the worksheet and I haven't connected with you on Instagram, it's probably because you didn't give me your Instagram handle. So I would love to connect with you over there. You just want to talk, we're sharing different memes and things. That's also a thing. Okay. Let me see. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I enjoy you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. I have a live stream on Monday. It's going to be a great conversation with Latoya about the things that we wish we would have done sooner in our business. Man, this is gonna be a good conversation. So if you get a chance to join live Monday at 8 p.m., any questions that you want to ask, don't forget to join. I would love to hear them. We'll talk about them live on the conversation. Otherwise, my release schedule is Monday at 8, Wednesday morning at 9, and then Friday I will see you here at noon for next week's Freedom Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. All right. See you guys.